Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to create a video in which I showed you how to navigate through the Urdu Seekhiye website. So first of all, to get to Urdu Seekhiye, you're just going to type in www.urduseekhiye.com, hit enter. So on the homepage, what I've done is I've added a few buttons. And one of the most important buttons I want to bring your attention to is the Urdu alphabet quiz. So I'm going to have more quizzes like this for every episode. That way you can test your knowledge and, that way you can understand what you don't understand. And that way you can ask better questions if you need to. All right, so I'm just going to show you really quick. The Urdu quiz opens up to a new page. You would hit start to begin the quiz. So I'm going to just go back to the main tab. And then you could send me a voice note if you want. And here I've added a button to listen to the podcast. So if you click here, it'll open to a new page. And these are all the platforms on which you can find Urdu Seekhiye. The platform I like to use is Google Podcasts because the layout allows you to listen to it at different speeds. So we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on all these other platforms as well. So be sure to check that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down a bit. This is an introductory video on what Urdu Seekhiye is and a little bit about me. This button is going to take you to the complete Urdu handwriting course that Arslan Sahab and I worked on together. I highly recommend it if you're trying to learn how to write Urdu and even read Urdu. Next, we have a little bit of information about what you can expect from the podcast. And then here is something that I want to bring your attention to. I would really love it if you could rate us on Apple Podcasts. So if you just click here, it'll take you here. And I believe you have to be signed in to Apple Podcasts in order to leave us a review. But you can also leave us a review on Facebook. Yeah. So if you have Facebook, so that would be very helpful too. Okay, so let's just go back to urduseekhiye.com and let me scroll all the way to the bottom. So these just list all the platforms again that we're on. You can send me a voice note by clicking here, and you can connect with us on social media by clicking here. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so that's the homepage. Now, if you click on the podcast, so, for every episode, I say, be sure to go to our website for episode number XYZ. So, if you were listening to episode number 21, you would click here. So first, you'd click podcast, then you'd arrive here, and then you'd want to go to the page for that episode, right? So you click listen for episode number 21, and you have the option of listening here. Although, again, I recommend using Google Podcast. But the main thing for coming to each episode's page is if you have a question, right? So you could ask a question here. And if you want to download that PDF for that episode. Now, I want to talk to you about this new feature that I've added. For many PDF handouts, you're going to see this box, right? So it says 0+. What that means is you can pay $0 if you want. But if you think that this is adding value to your life, that you want to pay for this product, then you can, add any value. You could move it up, you can move it down, however much you want to pay, okay? And then you're going to click add to cart. And then you enter your email address. And since you've entered an amount, you get various options to pay. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to email me. So I'm going to go ahead and X that out and show you a few other things. So if you notice, under each episode, it says dialogue, translation, and grammar. Those are the 3 types of episodes I've produced so far. Okay, most of them have been dialogues. So for majority of the episodes, what we do is we present a short dialogue and then we talk about that dialogue. So if you click dialogue, it'll list out all the episodes that are tagged with the dialogue tag. So let's say that you're just interested in episodes that have dialogues in them. Then this is the list that would interest you. To return to the full list of episodes, you could just click podcast. Okay, so let me show you one other. So the translation one, it's where we've translated somebody else's work, right? So there was a King Talks commercial that I really liked, so I translated it. It wasn't a dialogue. There are certain lines that we translated here. This was a poem that we translated. Naima and I translated together. Amir and I translated this poem by Allama Iqbal. So yeah, that's an example of the translation work. And there will be more in the future. Okay, so let's go back to the full list. And the final thing, which now I'm going to be adding more of, is grammar. So right now you'll notice there are 2 episodes on grammar. I've had a lot of requests on more work on grammar. So I will be doing that soon. Episode number 28 is on grammar. So be on the lookout for that. Video lessons basically point to our YouTube channel. So I've got a lot of lessons on the Urdu alphabet. More will be coming because now I'm a better writer because I've taken that Urdu handwriting course with Urslan Sahab. So yeah, be on the lookout for more videos on handwriting as well. And finally, I want to show you this download PDFs page. What that does is it takes you to our Selfie store, okay? So let's take a look at all the products that I have so far, okay? So this is kind of like Amazon, right? So anytime you click on add to cart where it's free, it's immediately added to your cart, right? So let's say that I want episode 1, done, it's added here. This is left behind from that previous order that we had put for $5 for that Forms of Joe. But let's go ahead and say that I just want episode 1, 2, 3, 3. So that's all I want. So now I've got 5 things in my cart. Yeah, I'm going to actually remove this. So I don't get that PayPal thing. So, these are all free. So I just click checkout. And now I've got 4 items in my cart. And if I want to see them, I click on that and I click checkout and continue for free. Okay, then I'll get this email and then I have to check my email in order to download those 4 PDFs, okay? So that's if it's free. Go to the store. And I did that by clicking the logo for Urdu Seekhiye, okay? So now what I've also done is I'm noticing how people want to download everything. But to save them time from clicking one by one, what I've done is I've included episode 1 through 24. So all the episodes, 1 through 24, are here. Okay, so that's 30 files. Because I'm saving you time, I'm hoping that you'd be generous enough to be willing to pay $2. And our first customer, Michelle, was generous enough to pay more than $2. So thank you, Michelle. And thank you to everyone who's willing to pay for the work that I do. It's very much appreciated. All right, so let's go ahead and go back home. I want to show you a couple more things about how differently it operates if there is an amount, right? So if it says free, it's really quick to download, right? It's just add to cart. But if there's an amount, even if it's a $0 amount, what that means is that you have the option to pay more for this item than the cost, right? So I'm leaving everything at $0. I'm allowing you to pay nothing if you want. But if you are able to afford it, it would be great if you can pay whatever you feel is a, just price. So you click that and it'll appear in your cart. All right. So then again, in order to continue shopping, you would just hit the logo and return to the main page. And notice now after episode number 25, I've begun charging. Okay. I want to point out in episode 25, there are 5 files. Oh, 6 files. All right. So $1 for 6 files, I think, isn't unreasonable. So you would just click one. You would either type one or click this up arrow to move it to one, and then click add item. All right. And then you'd continue doing that until you have all the files you need. Again, 1 through 24 can be downloaded with one click if you are willing to pay at least $2. All right, so I think that is everything I wanted to cover. To return to the homepage of Urdu Seekhiye, you would go here. Okay? So if you notice, I didn't finish the payment process. If I go here, my cart still saves what I've put in it. So I just have to click checkout. And again, the options appear for how to make that payment. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for learning Urdu along with me. For now, Khudafiz.